Hey, everyone. This is the Let's Get Loud podcast with Jane. Hello, Alicia.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about our vaginas. Am I going to call it
Wow, we're
getting
not
louder?
not sugarcoating it. We're just going right into it.
Right into it. I mean, I think I'm going to call it getting louder about vaginas, about having a vagina. And no, it's not about being a woman in like the aspect of being a woman versus a man in like real life or in everyday life. We're talking about the fact that we are feeling ignored and we're wondering if it's because we have vaginas, everyone. So we're having a honest conversation with our listeners, as we always do, because this is where we just talk about all the things. Sometimes I feel like no one's listening, but there's a lot of people listening.
Yeah.
Okay, reminder about our podcast party, reminder of our tour, and reminder of our October show. So just FYI, everyone, go check out our social media so that you don't miss out on anything. Okay, here's the thing. Another man decides to eat something for a month and gets so much news coverage for it, and we are upset. And honestly, what upsets us is like they're getting Canadian coverage and they're American and they're just doing like, oh, they like ate this and they didn't record anything, or they just did it on TikTok and that's it. And they're all men. One guy ate a piece of chicken every
No,
day.
he ate a rotisserie chicken.
Oh, yeah, right. He had a rotisserie chicken every day, you guys. Philadelphia chicken man. And then he gets a spot on global news. And I am upset.
I'm upset for so many reasons,
Oh my
actually.
gosh.
I mean, I'm upset because like we're Canadian and we're not even getting any coverage.
Yeah.
I'm upset because they're all men that are all getting this coverage.
Yeah. Who else? Can you name one woman that has ever done an experience or an experiment like we've done? It's all men. If you look at anything like this has been done for years, right? And it's all like men. It's never been a woman who has put her life aside to be able, like, we have fucking kids though. We have shit to do. And we did this and we filmed everything. And then we created this epic, hilarious documentary. I'm upset by the fact that we are 1 year later and we're still not talking about it. And we could be doing so much goodness with our documentary and our message, and it's just not, we're not being heard, and we're wondering why, and we're wondering it's because if we have vaginas and we're women.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. As you're thinking about talking about this too, I'm more upset as well with Tim Hortons. Like I'm really upset with Tim Hortons.
I see what you're saying. I agree. I don't know why they did not grab on that opportunity to just like, I mean, how great would we be on a Tim Hortons commercial? Like we're so their brand. We're like their avatar consumer. And like our documentary was just so good for them. And I just like don't understand what's happening. How do not people not know this?
I mean, and I see Tim Hortons investing in influencers. Not that I'm saying we're influencers. I mean, whatever. But I'm like also obviously if Tim Hortons values that, like they're sending packages to people to open on the internet. And we ate Tim Hortons for 1 month and didn't get anything.
Yeah. And like not only did we just eat Tim Hortons for 1 month, we filmed the whole thing and created this like masterpiece. Like I'm sorry, there was so much work. And I'm like, I'm not giving up. Like, I just feel like, but there is a story there behind why is this not getting like, it's such a good story. It was the sexiest way for us to show your weight loss. We wanted a sexy thing. And that was sexy. It was attractive. And I don't understand how it's not getting attention. I don't get it.
Do you think that, I wonder if that industry is male dominated? Like there's certain industries like the news industry. I wonder if it's male dominated when it comes to like producers. I have no idea. Right. But, maybe honestly, who do you think would be more likely to watch our documentary? Probably women, because we're two women. Right. So maybe because we have vaginas, they didn't even give it a chance to watch.
Okay, I see what you're saying. As in, they don't even want to watch the documentary in the first place. I see what you're saying. But we're so, like, tons of men watched our documentary and
That's why I'm
enjoyed
extra
it.
upset. I mean, the nicest comment that one of our friends said to us, because when we had the premiere in Moncton, we invited a ton of our friends and their husbands. It was maybe the only show that we'll ever do that we invited the husbands.
Right.
And, you know, one of our friends' husbands said to us, I did not realize it was going to be a comedy.
So nice. I just feel like, and also there's so many men that could really benefit from the knowledge of that documentary and that message.
You are so right. That is actually maybe the best message moment that we could provide for men, because they tend to be less emotional when it comes to their weight loss journey, and just that rational thought about donuts not being bad. I mean, do you remember that we were standing in line? I'll tell you guys this story. But also, guys, if you haven't watched the documentary, you need to watch it. We'll link it in the show notes, but it's free. Please watch it. Please share it with other people that you think would enjoy it. Share it on your social media. That would be incredible, because it is still just the most beautiful piece of content ever. Anyway, I'm standing in line at Tim Hortons, and Jose's not with me. She's like literally being interviewed by a French reporter on the phone. She's outside, and we're going to the premiere. I think it was premiere day.
Premiere day.
And I ordered a bunch of donuts. We just decided we were going to eat donuts on premiere day. And there's a man waiting in line behind me. And he's like a construction man. He's got like construction boots and like the jacket on. And I can tell he's like looking at me, like wants to like be my friend. And he's like, well, you're not eating all those donuts. Or he said something like that. And I was like, actually. And I told him what we had done. And he was like, And then, you know, he was like, oh, I need to lose weight. And he patted his beer belly or whatever. And I was like, he had ordered, and then he ordered like a triple and 2 honey crullers. And I said, if you do want to lose weight, it was just like the right moment. I don't often talk to strangers about how they should lose weight in Tim Hortons, you guys, but it was just like, I knew he was ready for it. I said, just have 1 honey cruller instead of 2. And it was like, I saw his wheels turning, and it was like, he never really thought that was an option. And for him, he probably thought, I'd like to lose weight, but I definitely don't want to eat salad every day. And it's like, that's what he thought was the only option.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, there's that documentary, it's gonna go places. I just don't know what place. We need one person to look at it, watch it, fall in love with it, the right person that's going to put it in the hands of someone that's going to say, these girls deserve to be seen and to have a moment. Like, I just can't believe it. I can't believe that there's not one, whether it's global news or whatever, that we weren't like, also like our photo shoot. And like, there's so many like opportunities for them to grab on to that story. Yet I think they saw Super Size Me. Well, Super Size Me got all that attention. Why can't we, even if you thought it was Super Size Me, like, you know what I mean? It's the opposite. And then, well, that's a good story. The opposite of Super Size Me, 2 women, like, I can't. So anyways, you guys, that was like a big part of our conversations lately. And we wanted to share with you how we were feeling and how we're still seeing so much work needs to be done. Like even in the weight loss, like we have a PR agent, she's like, you know, pushing our story, pushing anything, whether it's like dieting trauma or, you know, generational trauma as well, like generational dieting. How do we speak in front of our kids when we're trying to lose weight? Like all of it. And she's seeing that it's very hard to get through when weight loss is a part of the conversation. And honestly, also weight loss is like hard. They're like, are you a doctor? Are you a dietitian? And she's like, they're not telling people what to eat and what not to eat. Like, why do, like, our service does not need that type of qualification. So like, it's like, we're doing such good things and it's like, people aren't listening. And sometimes it's so hard. It's one of our struggles.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking about this yesterday. Like we do not have any formal training in nutrition. No, we do not. That's also that we do not tell people what to eat as well. So, you know, like Jose said, we don't need formal training to support people through this process. Have we been there, done that, got the teacher, lived the life? Absolutely. And we just want to share that with other people. So, you know, and it's such a taboo subject. I'm also a person that I don't want to say I don't value formal education because that's a big statement, but like, let's say a photographer, I'm not like, where did you go to school? Like some people are just like more, even teaching, like just because you go to school to be a teacher does not mean you're going to be a good teacher.
Yeah, no, at 1,000,000%.
I guess I do not think that formal education is the most important thing when it comes to how you show up in the world. I think
I agree.
there's so many other factors there.
Yeah.
And it's just, as a society, that's just been what we valued.
I definitely value knowing more than knowledge. Like, I'm like, I want to see, like, even like a hairdresser, I want to see pictures of how you've cut your hair before. I don't care if you're like, you have an award and at a random webinar, seminar, you got won first place. Like, I want to, like, I want to see your hair. I want to see. So like, it's like, there's a lot of things, like photographer was a perfect example actually, because I don't care all the courses you have. And if your camera's the best and the best, I've had people that have the best of the best and they don't even talk to you while you take pictures.
Yeah.
And they don't have a personality. So it's like, but I need you to tell me how to put my arm so that I don't look like a robot in these pictures. I don't care if your camera's good or not.
I was going to say, like, look at Denis Duquette, who is our photographer. I have zero idea if he went to school to be, who cares? He's incredible. He's super talented.
Yeah. Yes. And I just feel like it's like, oh, but for this, you need that. I'm like, I'm sorry, like tons of dietitians, doctors, and nurses are members of your weight loss because we do not provide the same service as them. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people provide the same service as we do.
No.
And honestly, if it's like these people have changed my life for the better, positive, whatever, I'm like, sign me up for that. So I think it's so important to like value that. We need to see how the people are living their lives and be connected to that, because that's human connection. It's not just connected to what you studied, because that's a small piece of like I think I was a great teacher. And if you looked at my math grades on year 4 and year 5, no, I had a tutor. But you know what? Me having a tutor was make me more connected to the kids that maybe struggled in math than like Mathieu, who like never showed up in class and always ended up with A because he's crazy genius. You know what I mean? Like Mathieu did not connect with kids that struggled. And he would always say that. He would connect with kids that were avancés, that were like gifted, because he's gifted.
Yeah.
And you don't learn gifted. You don't learn that. That's who you are.
Yeah.
And I would connect because we did team teaching. And that's when we saw we both have our friggin' certificate to teach, but who we are connects more to certain people.
I mean, also just thinking about university, I'm thinking about like what I learned when I was doing my education degree, like gluing stuff on a pancart, like literally think about it. And then throwing you into the wild of the classroom. Like, where do you think more learning happens to be an educator? Do you think it's in your classroom gluing stuff to a pancart
and raising your hands and everyone's an adult in your class that you learn nothing?
Throw them into the wild of teaching. And in 1 week, you learned more than you learned in your 4-year degree.
And you'll learn more if you actually want to do this or not.
One more thing. I want to talk about someone's physical body, because in the industry that we are in, that not only do we value, okay, yes, they have an official certification, whether it's a personal trainer or a dietitian or a nutritionist. I also want to take a minute, guys, to say, I'm not saying those are not incredible.
Oh my God.
Like no. I want to say, even though I'm saying I don't value as much formal education, I'm just saying that it's not the top of my list of what I think qualifies someone to have conversations about all things teaching, photography. Like I don't want you to think that I'm devaluing that skill or that education. I am not at all. But in our industry, often, so there's like letters that qualify someone, but there's also their body. And it's like, oh, you look at your body. You have not a lot of body fat. Clearly, you are qualified to help me.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. I think that why is that connection? And you go on the internet, what I eat in a day, we're always seeing you naked first.
Yeah.
Why? Because here's how I look naked. So I'm qualified to tell you what to eat in a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the way you look doesn't qualify you to, like, for me, it's like, this is how I feel within my life. I can help you feel the same way. This is how, you know what I mean? Like, that's really what we're selling. I cannot promise you that you'll look like me, or that you'll like lose the same weight as me, or that the way I'm eating is why I look the way I look. It's all about like how I live my life, who I am, how I show up, how I think, how I speak. And then I share that. And it's just, I think that that's again, we say we want that. We say we're attracted to it, but there's always like, as a society, we still have work to do, that even if we keep saying that we want to do self-work and self-development and whatever, we don't invest in it, we don't work on it, we still very much are attracted to looks, thinness, and even if we keep saying like we're doing better, we have so much work to do, you guys. Oh my goodness, like so much work to do, because we say things that we don't even believe. Like we're like, that's what I look for. Yet you're still watching the person that the only thing that they're showing you on the internet is them at the gym and how they look.
I honestly really truly believe that part of our obstacle as a business is that people just do not value
our service
yet. They don't value the self-work as much as they value a thinner body. And what they also maybe haven't connected is that following our service, that weight loss is a byproduct of it, but it's like they don't think it's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're open with that, but we're working hard on making people realize how it can literally change their lives, and they will get the results that they are looking for real, because that's what they deserve. And that the quick fixes, which we're going to talk about next podcast, they don't work. And I know, you know that, but our next podcast is about that. Like, we keep saying, I know, like if I were to talk to anyone in the world, that quick fixes don't work. They know that. They keep saying it, yet they keep investing in that. They keep investing in that product. They keep investing in that way, even if they keep saying out loud, oh, they don't work. It's very, very interesting to watch. And they will not invest in the work.
Do you think that are also investing in those, like whether it's like the juice cleanse or the really expensive, quick things? How many of those people do you think are not even telling one person that they're doing it?
Oh,
it's because like they know deep down, but we still keep doing it as a society.
Yeah. I also think that we live in a society that is so willing to invest money and not time. And so, and the worst part is, as a society, what we do have is time and not money.
We need to take that clip. That is a good clip.
Yeah.
We are so willing to throw money at something.
The money we don't even have, that we keep saying we don't have money, but we keep throwing at it, at shit we know is not going to give us, but we're not willing to give it time. Whereas your weight loss, you need to give it time and less money.
Yep.
And it's not attracting to you. It's so interesting. And you keep saying no quick fixes, yet you keep throwing money at it. And even if you throw money at a quick fix, you know why you threw money at it? Because it wasn't going to take time. In your mind, it's a quick fix because you're not willing to give it the time. It's that simple.
This was a great conversation.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And we appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate that you take the time to listen to what we have to say. And you know what? When you want to support us, for us, it's sharing our message. We need more people to know we exist. And we keep saying that. And that's why we're trying to get loud. We're just trying to get loud. And we're doing the best that we can right now. And we're trying to think outside the box on how we can get people to listen to us. Whose door do you want me to knock on? What do you want me to do for you to listen to my words? Because I know every time we're invited, finally someone says yes to us being on their podcast. Because just so you know, not everyone wants us on their podcast because they're like, oh, weight loss. Oh no. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm ready. But when people finally give us a chance, their eyes are just like, they're like speechless almost.
Absolutely. Like, we are having such extremely powerful conversations that I'm watching this one person be so impacted.
Yeah.
You see it. It's so beautiful. And it's like, why am I only speaking to one person right now? More hundreds, thousands of women need this message in their lives. It's like, we're just going to get louder. And we're going
to keep showing up.
Yeah. Please share, because we truly believe that more women deserve this message.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.